Now I realize that some of you have this notion in the back of your head that it would be cool to be kidnapped by aliens and taken up aboard their starship and then whisked off toward the stars on some spectacular cosmic adventure. You know, like they're gonna let you hang out with them or something. The reality of it is if you were actually kidnapped by aliens and taken aboard their starship, you probably would have about as many rights and amenities as maybe a death row inmate. Minus the 1 hour basketball practice every day. I mean, the food would just be shitty. You would have absolutely nothing to call your own. Well, actually, that's not true. You would have one thing that you would have. You would probably have a pot to piss in, and you'd want to take care of that pot, because that pot that'd be your big thing. That would be what you have in life, is your pot, and you'd want to be friends with your pot and name your pot and do other things in your pot besides just piss in it. You'd want to make plans with your pot, talk to your pot, comfort your pot whenever you can, because that would be your big thing. That'd be your big thing in life, is your pot to piss in. But believe it or not, though, if you were actually kidnapped by alien beings and taken aboard their starship and headed toward the stars, your chances of escape, believe it or not, would actually not be that bad, relatively speaking. It'd be about on par with one of these fish right here, actually jumping out of the tank and then landing on the ground and flapping its way out into the world, and then eventually learning to drive an automobile and finding a good job and getting credit, and finding a good woman and getting married, and and the whole time nobody notices that it's really just a little fish. Now, to be fair, you might not end up in a death row type situation contained in some little cell like that. You might end up on a farm type situation with other creatures of the earth of that same time period of which you lived in, because there's still a disease factor even amongst species of the same planet. But even there, you could end up with a roommate situation there you never imagined possible. I mean, remember single white female? Well, if you're living with Otto the elephant, you might end up putting in an ad for single horny chimpanzee just to improve your situation slightly. And as for the aliens, who knows what their intentions are? You'll never know what their intentions are. I mean, you may be a part of a zoo type situation where they're just going to study you, or maybe other aliens are going to pay to come and see you. Or on the other hand, maybe they're preparing you. Maybe you're being basted or something. Maybe you might end up being the souffle in their version of Thanksgiving, cooked by some alien chick that can't cook, that everybody says they like, but then they toss it to the side when nobody else is looking, or it may not be any of that. It may be that they're just really nice guys just trying to help a fella out. But the point is, you'd have very little interaction with them other than their observation of you. They would be so far beyond you that it may very well be beyond human comprehension.